That's not legislating. That's not appealing to ideas. It's inhumane and immoral. Shame on you,
Shame.
Jessica.
Shame.
No way on the shame. Also,
Shame.
there is a...
Burger just dropped a whopper, cooking the books before the midterms by carving up purple Virginia like it's Thanksgiving. The Commonwealth narrowly passing the Dems' redistricting measure, creating a 10-to-1 Democratic advantage, meaning the GOP only has one red district left in the state. And just take a look at this blue lobster monstrosity they stitched together. That scammy new map features mostly red areas that voted for Trump in 24 and the small blue tail, Kamala land. Naturally, the libs are spiking the football.
Virginians were really motivated to take this temporary responsive stance.
MAGA, dare I say, they're losing at their own game. They're on the defense and they're scared.
Virginians said, look, we got to stand up to tyrants.
Our message to Florida Republicans is F around and find out. If they go down the road of a DeSantis dummy-mander, the Florida Republicans are going to find themselves in the same situation as Texas Republicans.
Oops, as you guys perpetrated. But don't worry, Joy Reid says Democrats would never, ever break the rules to get ahead.
Democrats do not play politics the way Republicans do. The difference between the parties, they do not. They do not. Can you imagine Chuck Schumer doing any of the things Mitch McConnell did? Of course not. They couldn't even hold out on a government shutdown because 8 of them turned tail and gave in. Democrats capitulate and they try to play by the rules. Republicans don't care about the rules. They rewrite the rules.
They're not doing it right now.
Dana, you will have to answer for Spanberger for
the rest
everything.
of my life.
Go ahead.
I will never live it down, and I don't deserve to live it down. Yeah, she surprised me. But here's the other thing. The Republicans were late to get involved. Nationally, the RNC has so much more money than the DNC. They were outspent. I don't know if spending more money would have made a difference, but in the last couple of weeks, as people started to go, oh my gosh, there could be 4 more Democratic seats, and all 4 of those want to impeach President Trump. Maybe we should do something. That area, the Republicans in Fairfax County really turned out and made it super close, 48.5% to 51%. I mean, they made it better. So just think, if the Republicans had been engaged from the start, they might have been able to maybe prevent it. Now, another thing that might prevent it is the law, because the circuit court has just frozen it and said, not so fast, sunshine. And that might then go up to the Supreme Court, and we'll see. But yeah, it's not great. If you start a fire, you better figure out if you know where the extinguisher is, sort of like the SPLC.
All right, so Jessica, you guys have been gerrymandering for quite some time. You're very good at it. Trump tried his hand at it, did it in Texas, got some good results, and then you guys have just been running the table. Can you stop? Can you slow down?
No. All gas, no brakes. So the top 10 gerrymandered states in the country, only 2 of them are democratically controlled, by the way. So this isn't really all about how we're the evil gerrymandering force, but you are correct in your setup, which I think has never happened in recorded history, at least of me being on the 5, that you guys were the ones who started it. And I remember when I was talking about it and said, this has the potential to backfire. It could become a dummy mander. You said something like, who cares about a dummy mander? What's the weird word you're saying, Jessica? And this is what it looks like in Texas, where, by the way, the districts, the monstrosity that you showed, districts in Texas span now 300 miles. They look even funkier than that lobster that you showed. The thing is, though, is that Democrats aren't even fighting as dirty as Republicans, because we still ask the voters what they thought about it. Donald Trump called Greg Abbott up and said, do this. Greg Abbott, according to reports, was skeptical about doing it, but knew that he had to say yes to his master. So he went ahead and did it. In California and Virginia, they actually took it to a ballot and they asked the voters what they wanted. And it is on a temporary basis. This won't be forever. But they said, yeah, we have to counteract what the Republicans are doing. Now Hakeem Jeffries is out there saying, Florida, we have our eye on you. If you're going to move forward with this, we will spend against you and we will make sure that you lose even more seats if you move forward with this.
$20 million of his own in there.
He did, absolutely. And you're right about the cash advantage of the RNC and the DNC, but the individual candidates are routing the Republicans in every single race that matters at this point, which is why I think Hakeem Jeffries is so confident about it. The margins, though, for a little bit of, I don't want to say like a storm cloud, but to Dana's point, the margin was smaller than what Kamala won by in 2024, which indicates that if the Republicans had spent properly and taken this as seriously as they should have, perhaps it would have been closer. I don't know if they would have won it, but we're thinking about that for sure for the midterms.
Kennedy.
I think it's gross. I mean, I can't stand this in any state. And, you know, that's having spent most of my adult life in California and New York. These are deep blue states. And, you know, it's like California has been doing this for decades. It was not a surprise that red Texas did the same thing. I do have a problem with it in purple Virginia because that's a place where candidates should win on ideas. Like they should be leaning into voter discontent right now instead of, you know, this gross, sleazy language that they used in the ballot measure, you know, which it appeals to voters who aren't really paying attention, number one. And number two, like if it were so important to be fair all the time against the big, massive Trump machine that, you know, according to terrified Democrats will reverberate for generations, then make it permanent. But the fact that they're only doing it for 4 years means that it's a shady trick. And also, as an independent voter, I hope both parties lose because I feel like both parties should be leaning into people like me. People like me who were disaffected, but still very much engaged. And you're losing people if you're just trying to jujitsu and slice and dice these states for some temporary advantage to stick it to Trump. That's not legislating. That's not appealing to ideas. It's inhumane and immoral. Shame on you,
Shame.
Jessica.
Shame.
No way on the shame. Also,
Shame.
there is a national gerrymander ban on the table. Democrats brought it in 2021. We will vote on it anytime you want. Ban it. Everyone. Republicans
and revert
support
to
it.
the maps before this nonsense started. Both parties.
Greg, would you like to continue to
fine.
talk about gerrymandering?
I got to be honest with you. This shocked the hell out of me. Maury Povich alive? Was that Maury Povich?
Yeah, Maury. Maury.
That's the problem. How do we're bearing the lead here? Look at him.
What a big show.
I would love to have him on my show. He seems like a nice fella. Look, I think Jessica's right. Neither party has a monopoly on this. It's a bipartisan temptation. You know, it's one of those things that you hate when it's like a goon on a hockey team.
Oh, yeah.
You hate theirs, but you like
Rempey.
yours. The Republicans have done it recently. The Democrats have done it in Illinois, New York, Massachusetts, Maryland. So they're aggressively doing it. But it tells you something that people should be aware of. As boring as it sounds to you, it reveals there's a suicidal flaw of democracy that you can vote to end it. That's what this is. You can vote to end it. It's almost like what's happening with immigration when let's let in immigrants who don't like America, and then they end America, or what they're doing in Great Britain. In this case, it's democracy. It's like you can actually vote to remove the representation of other people. So and then what it is it's a mob. It's like three of us deciding that those two get less talk time, and we have a vote.
That's literally, you do that to me every day.
Yeah,
I don't think so.
But this would be a vote. But then it would be 3-2, and then in 5 years it would be 4-2, and then we would have the whole thing. When you think about it, it really is kind of like a bad thing.
This is enticing.
What?
I mean, we can slice and dice this table. I'm just kidding.
Electoral college should go too.
We would never do that to you, Jessica.
Well, you're talking about how much you don't like. This is against any kind of representation. So get rid of the
one person,
exactly
one
what Democrats want.
It will end up hurting Virginia in the long run, I believe.
Well, screw Virginia. Seriously, they voted for Spanberger.